Hello, everybody. I hope everybody had a wonderful Lag B'Omer yesterday, and I hope that you're having a good day today. You may notice that I am in my kitchen, and the reason why is because at the end of this clip, we're going to be using the oven to demonstrate something. Because today, what we're going to be talking about is preparing the oven for Shabbos. If you're going to be leaving food in the oven, this shear is not negea if you never plan on leaving food in the oven. If you plan on leaving food just on a blech or in a warming dros, then this is not negea. Over here we are talking about leaving food in an oven. I do want to say that if all of a sudden you hear kids running by and some noise, which I hear some in the background, we're just going to talk straight through it. Okay, if you're leaving food in the oven at the beginning of Shabbos, there's a couple of things we have to be careful of. First of all, we mentioned in a previous share that if the food is not fully cooked, you can't do that. First of all, there's a potential shahiyah problem. It might be usur altogether. That's a machlokes. But even if you're lenient in that regard, it's really dangerous to leave uncooked food in the oven, because if the food is not fully cooked, then if you wouldn't be allowed to open the oven, because when you open the oven, you're causing the fire to turn on sooner, which is going to cook the food. You would not be allowed to open the oven unless you are 100% certain that the food inside is fully cooked. It could be that it's gonna, like we said, it could be like a potato cooker, which is fully cooked, but it improves from being in the oven longer. That's okay, but it has to be what we would call fully cooked, which we spoke about in the past. Okay, what we're going to discuss today is number one, the issue of a light going on. If you open an oven, like for instance this oven, if I open it up right away, you can see that there's a light in there, and the light goes on. So even if you would leave the oven off and put the food in, you have to be careful not to turn the oven light on. We one time actually had this where we prepared some delicious food for Friday night, and it was the oven was on at like 4:50 right before Shabbos, and my wife decided that instead of setting the Shabbos setting, listen, it's so hot, we'll just shut the oven off, and the food would stay hot until it was time to eat it. But then we realized that when you open the oven, the light's going to go on, and we missed out on that meat. We didn't have it. And instead we had some cholent for Friday night, and it was a great lesson to teach that there are some times where the answer is no, and we weren't able to have that food. So even if the oven is off, which a lot of people do, they'll just heat up the oven really high and then shut it off before Shabbos, you have to make sure that you either took out the light bulb, or you can turn on the oven light, which in most ovens, if you turn on the oven light, then it will be on before you open it, and it will be on before you open it, and then when you open it, nothing happens, nothing changes. So what one should do over here again is either disable the light or just leave the light on. Now, that's if you're leaving the oven off. Now, a lot of ovens have what's called a Shabbos setting. The Shabbos setting is wonderful in that then the light will remain off when you open the oven. Also, the Shabbos setting will make it that it will go off at the end of the Shabbos setting, and when you open and close it, nothing's going to change on the screen. So it's terrific in that regard. It removes all of those issues. However, there still is an issue with the Shabbos setting, and that is that even if the oven is on a Shabbos setting, but practically speaking, when you open the oven and let the cold air from the house come in, you're causing the oven to go on sooner. Is that a problem or is it not a problem? It's a complicated halachic discussion. I will tell you that many poskim, and this is the official policy of the Star K, and it might be the policy of many kashrus organizations, is that when you open it up and you're turning the oven to go on, well, the question is, do you care for it to go on anymore? Which makes a difference in halacha, whether or not you care that the oven should turn on. So if you open it up and you take out all the food, again, we're talking about there's no issues of lights going on or anything like that. We're just concerned that when you open it up, cold air is coming in, which is going to cause the oven to turn on sooner. So if you take out all the food, then there's no problem. Then it's okay, because then you don't care when it's going to turn back on. But if you are going to leave food in there, let's say you're going to take out the soup and leave the rest of the food in there, then many say that you cannot do that because of this problem. And this would be true even if it's on a Shabbos setting. It's not clear, or most likely the Shabbos setting does not alleviate this difficulty. I will tell you a big leniency from Rabbi Zucker Shlita, and the reasoning and the logic behind this and what this psak is based on is way too complicated for this venue. But nevertheless, this is his psak, and I'm not saying everybody goes with this, but this is his psak, and he's my Rabbi, so as far as I'm concerned, you could rely on it. He says that if you are going to open an oven that is on, so first of all, sometimes you can hear that the oven is on, that the fire is on. And that's the best. If you're able to hear that the fire is on, then there's no problem opening it because you're not making it turn on sooner because it's already on. But if the oven is such that you can't tell when the fire is on, or you feel like you're just going to be waiting way too long and the guests are waiting and you don't know, it might not turn on for an hour, so then even if the fire is not on or you can't tell if it's on, then you can open up the oven with a shinoi as such. If you could just like wrap a towel around the handle, instead of just opening the handle with your hand, but rather wrap a towel around the handle and pull it. That way you're opening it with a shinoi in a funny way, and then it would be permissible, according to Rabbi Zucker, to open the oven even though you are leaving food inside the oven. I hope that was clear. If anybody has any questions, we're talking about big things over here. We're talking about possible Chil Shabbos. So if you're not 100% clear about anything that I've said, please do not hesitate to reach out to me and call me, 917-627-6384. Have a great day.